Chapter 16, verse 4. Dambo darbo dimanasha cha kradoya parushyam evacha ajnanam cha bhajitashyatya Pārtha sampadam asurim. Ostentation, arrogance, excessive pride, anger, as also harshness and ignorance, these of Pārtha Arjuna are the endowments of him who is born with the demonic nature. Just like the commander of the army of divine endowments is bhai, fearlessness, in the same way the commander of the army of the demonic endowments is damba, ostentation and hypocrisy. Damba is the attitude of trying to show one as being what one is not. This is something worth remembering a lot in today's times. There is a very big thinker by the name of McDougall who says that the more that society is becoming civilized and the more that society is becoming so-called cultured, then the more that society is becoming hypocritical. This is because today human beings wish to show themselves to be good, but they do not wish to become good. It is one thing to show oneself as being good, and it is one thing to be good. It is very difficult to become a good person, but it is very easy to look like a good person, and that is why. Kova chale hams ki chal. The crow tries to walk like a peacock. This is what happens. People walk with a mask on their faces, and this is damba, ostentation and hypocrisy. Why is this called a demonic endowment? If we wish to see in general, then we can say that divine endowments give peace to others and give purity to others. On the other hand, because of demonic endowments, turbulence is created and impurity is created. Bhai, fearlessness, is the first quality that gives a human being peace. On the other hand, damba, ostentation and hypocrisy is the first quality that results in impurity and turbulence being created in human beings' life. What is this turbulence? If we try to look at it physiologically, then this person keeps trying to show what he is not. Because of this, a type of stress is created in the mind. This person constantly has to wear a face. Stress arises for him, and as a result of this, turbulence is created in his mind. It is very difficult to show what we are not. I have seen it, and you will all have experienced that when an actor is performing a show for 2 or 3 hours, then he may be playing the easiest role possible, and it is not as if the role is strenuous roadways, yes, to fly from one plane to another, because it is the easiest role possible. But after he has performed that part for 3 hours and the curtain closes, then if you go to see him backstage in the makeup room, then he is so tired. We ask him what has happened to him, and we ask him why he is so tired. He has not been flying from one place to another or doing anything. This stage is so small and he has done so little in the 3 hours, so why is he tired? A lot of research was done on this, and after doing the research, it was ultimately found that in these 2.5 hours to 3 hours, this person is doing what activity which he is not. That is why he gets so tired. Now think about it, that everybody knows this. The person watching knows this, and the person doing it knows this and that. I am playing the part of someone who I am not. He is playing the part of somebody who he is not, and he is doing it with the attitude that the other person should not find out. This is damba, ostentation and hypocrisy. The actor is not damba, ostentation, hypocrisy, and is acting, but he has the attitude that the other person should not know that he is acting on the other person, should believe that he is the part. How much stress must arise in his mind? Damba, ostentation, hypocrisy creates turbulence. Second, what happens as a result of damba, ostentation, hypocrisy, and the reason why damba, ostentation, hypocrisy is called a demonic endowment is that on the path of divinity and divine endowments, the human being slowly and slowly goes towards greatness. It is a constant process of self-purification and self-enlightenment. That is the path of divinity. But what happens when the demonic endowments is that the person who is damba, ostentation, and hypocrisy keeps showing that he is good, and on moment comes when he begins to get an illusion that I am good. If all of these people are calling me good, then I am good. Because of this, he stops making efforts in order to really become a good person. This is suicidal. This becomes a suicidal activity. Now his development cannot take place. He is not dharmic, but sits for 2, 4 or 6 hours every day to open a dharmic scripture. He tells his neighbours, says that he reads dharmic scriptures every day, but what has gone inside him? He then begins to feel that my neighbours are saying that I read so much and therefore I am practicing dharma, and that I ring bells inside my house in the temple. Therefore I am dharmic. For any reason, damba, ostentation, hypocrisy destroys a person. This person begins to believe that he is a person who he is really not. There are two types of damba, ostentation and hypocrisy. There is a damba, ostentation and hypocrisy of being a good person, and a damba, ostentation and hypocrisy of being a bad person. The damba, ostentation, hypocrisy of being a bad person is certainly threatening, but the damba, ostentation, hypocrisy of being a good person is also threatening. I've seen people who make a show of being bad people. People say that we do not take drinks, but our friend circle is such that if we are sitting amongst them, then we have a glass full, but we do not drink anything. The whole glass remains the same, and the other person thinks that we are giving them company. This is a show of being a bad person. This also destroys a person. This is because the person does not have the courage to say that I do not do this because it is a wrong activity. The person does not have the courage to say this, and we see a lot of show of being a good person in society today. If there is a big pain in my heart, then it is this, that after speaking to the intellectuals around the world who speak to from different religions and different languages, they say that despite having such great secrets of Indian culture and despite having such great wealth, why do we not see the consequences today in India? There is only one reason for this, and this is what we Indians have become filled with: damba, ostentation and hypocrisy. The majority of people are like this. They are damba, ostentation, hypocrisy. This thing is affecting us. Our dharma has just become a dharma of show. Our dharma has not become a dharma of conduct. That is why the characteristics of being filled with damba, ostentation, hypocrisy has come. And this damba, ostentation, hypocrisy destroys a person. The characteristic of damba, ostentation, hypocrisy is such that if I were to show it by way of an example, then a pillar is very nicely coloured and designed from the outside with decorations hanging from it outside, but on the inside it has been eaten up and ruined. If you see the jewellery on the outside, then you become fascinated by it, that it is so coloured, it has such nice decorations, and there are very nice diamonds. What you will not be able to even hang a bag off that pillar, because if you go to hang the bag on it, then it will all fall down, leave aside, holding together the weight of the house. This is what is happening to dharma. Each and every human being is a show. This parasite of dharma, damba, ostentation, hypocrisy, eats a person up inside. It is necessary to get rid of this characteristic if one wishes to go from a demonic to a divine endowment. Just like a person is, that person inside them should manifest. And if the person they are like inside, it manifests on the outside, then there is peace to this. If we are doing wrong, then we will know what we have made a mistake, and we will make efforts to walk on the right path. And secondly, the stresses on the mind will go away. One thinks that I am like this, I am making efforts to be a good person. But at the moment, I am like this. If we wish to accept me like this, then do so, and if you do not wish to do so, then do not. This is because a person with the characteristics of damba, ostentation, hypocrisy puts on a show in order to be affected by people, for the fear of public opinion and for the fear of public acceptance. He wants people to accept him, but when a person has the attitude that I am like this, then they do not have this fear. A person with the characteristic of damba, ostentation, hypocrisy has a fear of his heart. If you look at it one way, then abhay, fearlessness, and damba, ostentation, hypocrisy are opposites. A person with divine endowments has the quality of abhay, fearlessness in him, whereas a person with demonic endowments has fear, and so that this fear does not become manifest. He puts on a show. Psychologists always give the example that if a person is walking down a one-way alley in the dark, then this person begins whistling. Why does this person whistle? It's because there is fear in his heart that what if there is someone there? What if there is something there? And in order to hide this fear and that is there in his heart, he goes out whistling to show people that he is not fearing, but he is whistling. The fact that he is whistling shows that he has fear inside. If he was not fearing, then he would have walked straightforwardly and got out of there. Whichever person in society wishes to hide his bad characteristics, wrong activities, addictions and faults, out of the all of them, then this person makes effort in order to become damba, ostentation, hypocrisy. He makes efforts in order to hide one thing or the other. And what a person on the path of truth does is that. Hiranmaye pratrena satyasa pitam mukham tatvam pushana vavrano satya dharmaya drashtuyai. The face of truth is covered with a golden disc. Unveil it, O Purushan, so that I who love the truth may see it. This is the 15th mantra of the Isha Upanishad. All these sparkling covers have hidden the truth of Purushan is one who nourishes, one who gives energy, and one who gives support. A request is made to Purushan to unveil this golden disc, so that I do love the truth, may see it, and see what truth is. This is the encounter with the truth and the encounter with the self. This is very necessary in order so that one can get the courage to remove damba, ostentation, hypocrisy. I will show you an experiment. Every day for 5 or 10 minutes, sit in silence and sit alone. Keep thinking, and slowly the colour of damba, ostentation, hypocrisy will begin going far away. You will get the courage in order to remove it. At least the thought will come that, why am I putting on the show of damba, ostentation, hypocrisy? For whom do I have this damba, ostentation, hypocrisy for? I will put a little extension to the experiment in order to make damba, ostentation, hypocrisy go far away, that you should look yourself in the mirror. For 5 minutes, 7 minutes, or 10 minutes every day, take such a time that slowly you are sitting with yourself in the mirror. I have done these experiments for years, and that is why I am telling them to you. Those who are close to me will know about this. After waking up every day, I sit down to perform meditation, and after performing that meditation, I look into the mirror. How naturally, how straightforwardly, and how much at peace are you able to look into the mirror? And the gaze should be so penetrating that it should go inside you just like an X-ray machine does. In the same way, your gaze should go all the way inside. You will ask yourself whether you have done something like that in the last 24 hours. If you can see this, then slowly, damba, ostentation, hypocrisy will go away. You only need to show yourself, and you do not need to show this to any other person. Then when you go to perform any wrong activities, you'll remember that tomorrow you have to look yourself in the mirror. I have to look at myself. Will I be able to do so? One should be with their self. The person who cannot look at their self and the person who cannot look at the form he is in, this person has a lot of need for damba, ostentation, hypocrisy. And the worst damba, ostentation, hypocrisy of all is one who, while performing damba towards others, and also begins to perform damba, ostentation, hypocrisy towards himself. He keeps fooling himself that I am very good, I am very good. He does not even fall within his own grasp, and this is what he is like. This is a demonic characteristic, and he has pressed on the possibility of the seed inside him growing and blooming, which would have led to this improvement. This is what a person who has the characteristics of damba, ostentation, hypocrisy does. When one has removed the natural beauty and has placed a plastic rose in its place, then the matter is finished. He has the characteristics of being damba, ostentation, hypocrisy. A plastic flower has never grown and is never going to bloom. The characteristics of damba is such that you have never attained this thing from anywhere. It is not grown anywhere, and the fruit has never grown inside you, and yet you begin to make a show of having it. Making the soul of a flower that has not grown is such a big deception. Damba, ostentation, hypocrisy, is an activity of self-deception. People may be deceiving other people, but such a person is deceiving himself under damba. You cannot deceive other people without deceiving your own self. First we deceive our own self, and then we begin deceiving others, and this is the biggest sin of all. Deceiving yourself, damba, ostentation, hypocrisy, is a demonic endowment. Why does damba become born? When there is no joining together of feelings and expressions, then damba, ostentation, hypocrisy is born. When there is an inconsistency between what you feel and what you express, then this is damba, ostentation, hypocrisy. The inconsistency between what you feel and what you express is damba. People say that they haven't seen someone for a long time. When they meet them but they would not like to see them every day. This is damba, ostentation, hypocrisy. A person who is damba is broken from the inside and is finished on the inside. The biggest psychologists of all say that all sorrows that are born in people in society today is because of this one attitude of damba, ostentation, hypocrisy. This is because society is structured in this way. I'm not just talking about India, but I'm talking about the whole world. The structure of society is such that everybody wishes to appear good in front of everyone. It is another matter if you actually wish to become a good person, but everybody wishes to appear good in front of everyone. And at the same time, I will say that everybody has the wish to become good, but the arrangements around them in society are such that if you try to become good, then you are not able to succeed. We are going a bit deeper. If we try to remain good, then we cannot succeed. People say this, that if you're trying to do things authentically, and then you cannot gather money. If you want to gather money, then you have to do something that is crooked, otherwise it will not work. And you have to compromise yourself. When you compromise, you still wish to be a good person. I'm talking about a pure person. I'm not talking about a wrong person. A person really wishes to become a good person, but he also wants success in life, and he also wants wealth in life. The person knows that if he does not compromise a little, they will not be able to succeed. Therefore, he has to do some compromises, and it bites him inside. That I did this, I should not have done this. What then happens? Then he begins to wear a mask of Damba, ostentation, hypocrisy. In Baroda, there was a very big educationalist. I will not give the name, but he is still there. He was also in the ministry. I would also not say the ministry portfolio he was in, but he was in the ministry. It will become very obvious if I say a thinker stayed in his house for 3 to 4 days. He had a very nice bungalow and was a very reputable person in society. He had 2 children of his own. The minister spoke about himself and said that he was in the field of education and that he was doing this and that for education. He said that he took education forward and that he is working in the ministry. He said that he works with the government and does this and that. The thinker asked what his sons were doing and how they were. He said they were going to school, studying, etc. He then kept complaining that society was getting bad even though they were getting good training and good education. He kept saying that nothing was improving. He complained about the youth going down the wrong road. He told the thinker what instructions Dharma can give him and how Dharma can help the education field. He was making big talks and the thinker was listening to him speak. The thinker asked the education minister to forget about society and that they should talk about the family. The thinker asked him what he wanted his children to be. He said that he wanted his children to do great things in the field of education, to become chancellors of universities or even to become education ministers. The thinker asked him whether they will be able to reach these positions the way they are going at the moment, because he is the education minister and knows the system. The education minister said that no, they will not be able to. If they want to reach these positions, then they would have to make some adjustments or compromises somewhere. They will have to be taught this in order to reach there. The thinker said, why then are you complaining about society? If you are telling your own sons what to do in order to reach a certain position and are showing them the way to reach the positions because they do not have the skills at the moment, then how could you also tell them that they have to be advanced in their field? You are saying that they will not do well until they reach such high positions, yet you are telling society about how good you are and how good your sons are. You are wearing a mask of how good they are and making a show out of it, yet you are telling your sons that they are not good enough as they are. This is creating a tension in your sons' minds. You are giving them a goal to become university vice-chancellors, and then on the other hand, the more they advance in life, then they know that they have to compromise in one place or another. What will they do now? From now, you have to put a seed in your son's mind that they should be ostentatious and hypocritical from the beginning. You're not saying it directly, but you have given them a goal to become something, and only then will life be worth it. And at the same time, you know the system that you cannot reach the goal without certain things. Then what will your child do now, but in 10 years or 20 years' time? You wish for your child to go and become a vice-chancellor. If you pass away, then your son will look at your photograph and think that it was his father's wish for him to become a university vice-chancellor, and therefore he will become a vice-chancellor at any cost. Then they will stand looking good in front of everyone. They will trample upon everyone in order to do what they want to do in a very sophisticated way. Have you not made your children ostentatious and hypocritical? You have. He told the thinker that he has hit the nail on the head. You can only talk like that, and you cannot talk in any other way. It is very easy to talk about society, that people should do this and people should do that. It's very easy to say all of this. Begin with your own family first and decide what you want to do. The thinker told him to sit down with your children and tell them to either become authentic or to become a vice-chancellor, one of the two. If they wish to become authentic, then if they do not become vice-chancellors, then it is fine. If they do not get the vice-chancellorship, but they should not leave their authenticity, or you should tell them that they should become vice-chancellors, come what may. Only then would there be peace in your children's mind. There are many wrong people in society, and they have absolutely no stress because they know that they are branded culprits. They have their own world, and they know that everybody says to them in simple language they are shameless people. These people do not care what others think about them. It is absolutely not my intention to say that you should become like this, but at least there is no tension in their minds as they are wearing a mask. The majority of people in society run towards success on one side and take compromises on the other. When this happens, then damba, ostentation, hypocrisy is born. A person should decide what they want. A split personality arises in each and every person. They wish to show themselves to be one thing, and then they wish to become another thing. The difference between wanting to be and shown always results in a conflict. This is called damba, ostentation, and hypocrisy. And slowly this showing becomes so big that they lose the being. Then the tension of looking after the web that they have built becomes very big. If you look at the lives of people who have the characteristics of damba, ostentation, hypocrisy, then you will see that they would have two looks after the palace of cards that they have created. This is because the moment that this mansion breaks, then their years of efforts have gone. The whole purpose is defeated. He has to maintain it. The person has destroyed it, and that is why it is said that damba, ostentation, hypocrisy is a demonic attitude. The next demonic endowment is darpaha, arrogance. What is darpaha, arrogance? The feeling of bigness that arises in the mind because of youth, beauty, good family, wealth on the outside, etc. is darpaha, arrogance. Remember that Shri Krishna places darpaha, arrogance, and abhiman, excessive pride, together here. Ordinarily, we consider the words darpaha, arrogance, and abhiman, excessive pride, to mean the same, but Shri Krishna has stated them separately in the demonic endowments. They have been said separately, and therefore darpaha, arrogance, is different, and abhiman, excessive pride, is different. Spiritual teachers say that darpaha, arrogance, is separate from abhiman, excessive pride, because darpaha, arrogance, is egotism that comes as a result of outside objects such as youth of the body, beauty, wealth, power, fame, etc. On the other hand, abhiman, excessive pride, comes as a result the egotism of inner things such as education, intellect, religiousness, wisdom, etc. Thinkers have said it very nicely that the entire Western philosophy revolves around the I. If you take any thinker from the West, be it Kant, Hegel, Pavlov, Eisenhower, or any Western thinker, even Socrates, and then the entire tradition of Aristotle and Plato, then they have revolved around the I. On the other hand, Eastern philosophy has always revolved around the Saha, he. Yo buddhe parastasto saha. Greater than the intellect is he. Eastern philosophy revolves around the supreme truth. This is the big difference. When the German philosopher Immanuel Kant was trying to explain existence, then he had a very famous quote in German, that proof of the fact that the world exists and proof of the fact that we exist. Esse es percipe. I perceive, therefore I am, or I think, therefore I am. This is a very famous quote of Kant, that I think, therefore I am. This is because proof of the fact that I exist is why do I have the thoughts that I exist? This world exists and God exists. The fact that I am thinking all of this proves that I exist. This is because if I did not exist, then all of these thoughts would not have come. That is why he had a quote that I think, therefore I am. Therefore the I has come from everywhere around. And what is the ideology of the East? The ideology of the East is that it is because of the grace of the Supreme Soul, and that is why. God has given birth to me, God has given life to me, and I have become separated from God. The individual soul became separated from the Supreme Soul, and that is why this journey of mine is going throughout many lives. But I have become separated from the Supreme Soul. Therefore, in Eastern ideology, he comes first. God comes first, and then it is me. In the West, there is not even talk of God. They say, I think, therefore I am. I say as a joke that this ego smells. I once read a graffiti like this about Kant, that I stink, therefore I am. This is a bad smell of the ego, that I stink, therefore I am. Ramanujacharyaji says about dharpaha, arrogance, that it is a destroying your discrimination between what you should do and what you should not do through delight in attaining objects. When one gets union with objects, then they get one type of delight of feeling of happiness. But in those feelings of happiness, the human being himself forgets what he should not do. He destroys his intellect of discriminating between what he should do and what you should not do. This is called dharpaha, arrogance. Ravan had 10 heads, and this was his dharpaha, arrogance. He was a lost person. What happens as a result of dharpaha, arrogance? That the human being's pure self runs after objects on the outside. This is because of the dharpaha, arrogance. When one thinks that I am something because I have a nice car, I am something because I have a beautiful wife, or I am something because I wear nice clothes, then this I runs after objects and people. That is why the I gets lost in dharpaha, arrogance. And also in abhiman, excessive pride, on runs after education, wisdom, etc. This means that we get out of ourselves and that we are standing on the support of other people. This is the experiment that a person has. Your pure self gets scattered, and that is why when this gets scattered, our power begins reducing. A person who has abhiman, excessive pride, or a person who has abhiman, excessive pride, shows on the outside that I have a lot of power. But in reality, he does not have this power. It does not have this because his power is being depleted. 10% of him lies in his big house. 15% of him lies in his imported car. 20% of him lies in his beautiful wife, and when you keep adding things, then it equals to 100%. There is nothing for his pure self. This means that when his car goes away tomorrow, then 15% of him goes away. His face turns into a frown, and he thinks that my car has gone. He is finished. Therefore, if a person is living because of the objects, then he is scattered, and his power keeps reducing. That energy that is not used in self-development, and that is why God says that here that dharpa, arrogance, and abhiman, excessive pride, are demonic endowments. A person cannot even hold on to their self. They wish to develop their self, but they cannot do so because they cannot find their self. Just like we made efforts to understand divine endowments in detail, we should understand demonic endowments in detail, because these seeds are inside us. Many people say that when we sit down to perform Mara, turning the prayer beads and chant the name of God, our thoughts do not become concentrated. How can your thoughts become concentrated? You have not even performed Mara, turning the prayer beads and chant the name of God. You smelt the food, you have performed turning prayer beads and chanting the name of God. You did shopping and you did trades while performing Mara, turning the prayer beads and chanting the name of God. That today I will get this and today I will get that. Today I'll speak of this person. Have you performed Mara? No, you have performed trades. This is because you thought that when this trade happens and when this business still happens, only then are you something. This means that you have not performed Mara. How then can you attain the fruit of Mara? And how can you attain the peace of Mara? How can you attain the benefits of chanting the name of God? You cannot get them. You will see that mercury keeps falling out of your hands when you try to grab it. When you try to hold it, then it falls into many pieces. A person who has the characteristics of dharpa, arrogance, and abhiman, excessive pride, is like this. Whenever he goes to try catch the self, then he stops from doing so, and his pieces are spreading in so many ways. I mentioned 4 or 5 labels such as a house, car, wife, wealth, business, etc. But we have so many such pieces. We are so spread out and so spread out. The story used to come when we are young that a demon giant soul was in a parrot, and the parrot was located in a cave across the 7 seas. Nobody could locate where the parrot was. In order to get the giant, they would have to cross 2 rivers over the 7 seas. Have to cross over the 7 seas, go into the cave and find the parrot. If that parrot was killed, then the demon giant would die, but the neck of that parrot was not broken. While the neck of that parrot would not break, then nothing would happen to the demon giant. We have heard all the stories during our childhoods. While we understand in demonic endowments, then we should assume that we are all demons and that our beings are in so many parrots. The more we attribute our ego to all these things, then the more that our being becomes scattered. We have scattered our being. This is a result of darpaha, arrogance, and abhiman, excessive pride. There was a Jewish saint by the name of Baal Shem. He always said that God comes to take you, but where are you? Where are you? I remember an example of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. There are very big businessmen in Kolkata who came to see Ramakrishna Paramahamsa at the temple of Goddess Kali. The businessman said, just like you speak to you and meet Mother Kali, I always want to speak to and meet Mother Kali. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said that at the moment Mother is sleeping and the temple is closed. The businessman said, really, I want to meet Mother Kali. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said that, I will send my Mother Kali to you. Tell me where I should send her to. Tell me where you can be found. The businessman said that, we really send Mother? Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, yes, I will send her. I know Mother and will send her. Tell me where you will be. The businessman pulled out his card and said that, I'm going from here to the factory. I meet her there in 3 or 4 hours. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said that, this is the address of your factory. Tell me where you would be. Where will you be found? The businessman did not understand anything and said that the office is behind the factory. I sit in the office from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. every day. I will be there. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said that, this is the address of your office. Where can you be found? Mother will come to meet you and not your factory. Mother will not come to meet your office. Mother will come to meet you. Tell me where you will be found. The businessman still did not understand. He said that, I have also written the address of my house. When I leave the factory at 7 p.m. and reach my house, then I will be there. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said that, this is the address of your house. Where will you be? Tell me. Mother will not come to see your house. Mother will come to meet you. If you find out your address, then Mother will come to you by herself. Mother will not come to see your factory. Mother will not come to see your office, and Mother will not come to see your house. Mother would come to meet you. Where are you? Are you ever there? Where do you yourself reside? A human being who has darpa, arrogance, and abhiman, excessive pride, is never anywhere himself. He is neither in the factory, in the office, in the club, in the house, in this or in that. This is scattered. The person is scattered everywhere, and when God comes to meet him, then how can he meet God? This is because we are never there. This is demonic endowment. A demon can never meet the Supreme Soul, and the reason of this is that a demon is never there. He is always scattered, and the Supreme Soul can be found everywhere. God always descends into integrity. This is the nature of God. The moment you become integrated, and the moment you become everywhere, then the Supreme Soul himself comes there. Then you never have to search the Supreme Soul, and you never have to go to get the Supreme Soul the moment you become everywhere. The next demonic characteristics is krodha, anger. We have written a lot about krodha. If we wish to define krodha, anger, then we will get the definition that it is the attitude of having an irritative wish being born in one's antkaran, in a being, of maligning another person. Or is it the anger being manifest in order to hide one's powerlessness? We explain something once, we explain it twice, explain it 3 times, and on the 4th time we get angry. Then we try to justify that. We try to explain it to you quietly 3 times, but you did not understand, and this is why we got angry. This anger does not show power, but it shows powerlessness, that I feel to explain it to you. I was not able to explain it to you. We say that you were not able to understand, but in reality it is in our minds that I was unable to explain it to you. That is why when a person begins to bang their feet on the floor, then this growth, anger, this is demonic characteristics. Growth, anger destroys a person. It is like acid. If you wish to destroy a tree, then it is said that you can put acid in its roots. In 10 or 15 days, the entire tree will be destroyed. Every day in the root of our existence, we pour the acid of anger every day and destroy our entire existence. The tree in whose roots acid goes, that tree can never grow flowers, and that tree can never grow fruit. In the tree of our existence, the flowers of bliss do not become manifest, because every day this acid in the form of anger falls onto it. How can one get bliss? The scriptures have said it very nicely. Krodho hi shatru pratamo narana dehastito deha vinashanaya yata stita kashta gatohi vanhi sa eva vanirdate shariram. Anger is the first and foremost enemy of human beings. All other enemies are on the outside, whereas anger resides in the body and destroys the body. Just like there is fire inside wood even though we cannot see it, and when this fire becomes manifest, as we rub two pieces of wood together and burns the wood in which it resides. In simple Gujarati language, we say that it sits in our stomach and made our legs wide. Such is this anger. If you call someone, keep them, and look after them in your mind and in your heart, then anger kills them. Just like there is fire inside wood which we can't see, that only comes out when two pieces of wood are rubbed together and burns the wood in which it resided. In the same way, there are many pieces of wood that human bodies in the fire in the form of anger resides in them, and wherever conflicts happen, then anger in the form of fire becomes manifest and burns all those pieces of wood. Speakers have even gone further to say that this fire in the form of anger is such that it burns two houses. An ordinary fire only burns the house which catches it, but this fire in the form of anger burns itself and also burns the person on which one has gotten angry. When we get angry, then we get sad and we will lose our balance, but the poor person on whom we got angry also gets into turbulence. Anger is a fire which burns two houses. Krodh, anger is a demonic endowment where there is fire of anger, and the mode of sattva goodness cannot increase. Sri Krishna will say later in this chapter that anger is a gateway to hell. Trivadam narkase dham, dvaram nishnanam atmana, kama krodas tatha lobas, tasmad etat trayam tyajat. The gateway of this hell leading to the ruin of the soul, this threefold lust, anger and greed, therefore these three one should abandon. Sri Krishna says this later in this chapter, these three are such that they lead to the ruin of the soul. The next demonic characteristic is Purushyam, harshness. This is a saying savage and excruciating things to someone. Purushyam is harsh language. If there is language that causes pain in the heart of a saint, a simple person or straightforward person, then this is Purushyam, harshness. This is a demonic characteristic. This is the language of Asur demons. When I say Asur demons and Asur demons, then understand that an Asur demon is not someone who has big horns on their head, the teeth and dark dirty skin. This is not an Asur demon. What is an Asur demon? Ashushu ramate iti asruha. One who does what he instinctively feels like in his mind is a demon. There can ever be an Asur demon in a three-piece suit. Not only is this possible, but this is the case on the majority of occasions. An Asur demon appears very handsome. A person who does what he feels like in his mind is an Asur demon. You should think about the other person. What you are saying have an effect on the other person, and what effect will it have on society? At least think about this. An Asur demon does not think about this. This is called Purushyam, harshness. This is harshness. There are four main types of Purushyam, harshness. The first is bodily Purushyam. How is this? If there are 5 people sitting there, then sitting there arrogantly, walking arrogantly is bodily Purushyam. This is bodily harshness. You will see many people who then they are sitting down. Then we can tell that they consider themselves to be someone big. This is Purushyam, harshness. The second is Purushyam, harshness by vision. Many people's vision is moving with such harshness that you never see love in their vision, and you never see feelings in that vision. There are many gazers which are like flowers, and there are many gazers that are like bridges. They build a bridge. There are many gazers which are like a letter of invitation. As soon as their vision comes, the one feels like saying, "Tell me what you want to speak about. Come closer to me." One feels like this, and their gaze keeps giving us an invitation. There are also many gazers which are like bulldozers on the road. As soon as something happens, then they push us away. They do not even let us come close. Such are the gazers. The gazers like bulldozers are called Purushyam, harshness. This is harshness. The third type of Purushyam is that of the speech. This is Purushyam, through words. This is when one uses harsh words. My experience tells me that you can say the worst thing of all through nice words. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat. Speak the truth, but say it pleasantly. You should say it using nice words, and if we feel as if we're not able to say it, then we should keep silent. We should never make wrong use of words. Speech is power. Speech is called a power. Fourth is Purushyam, harshness of the heart. What is this harshness of the heart? When a crisis or a difficulty comes, then the other person then leave aside helping them. But upon seeing their crisis or their difficulties, some people get happiness in their heart and think that it is good that this has happened. This is harshness of the heart. This is demonic. This person is a demon. The person gets happy on seeing another person's difficulty. There are 4 types of purusham: harshness, body, vision, speech, and the heart. These are demonic characteristics, and Sri Krishna has placed the words evacha after the words purusham. Shankaranandaji wrote while commentating on this that the words of evacha are used so that even in dreams a person who has demonic endowments can never talk straightforwardly to the other person. And I will say another thing, that a person's characteristic of dham, ostentation, hypocrisy, may remain hidden throughout their entire lives, and a person may be dham, ostentation, hypocrisy throughout their entire lives without anyone recognizing him. A person's darpaha, arrogance, and abhiman, excessive pride, can remain hidden, and a person's growth, anger, can remain hidden. But purusham, harshness, is such a thing that can never remain hidden, and it comes out at one time or another through someone's words. An asura demon becomes revealed through this. This is why the words evacha are used. An asura demon can never hide this thing. The next demonic characteristic is ajnanam, ignorance. Shankaranandaji say that ajnan, ignorance, is non-discrimination between truth and non-truth. Keshavat says that ajnan, ignorance, is non-discrimination between right action and wrong action. Madhusudan Saraswati says the same thing, that ajnan, ignorance, is an intellect that is indifferent to indiscrimination between right action and wrong action. Sri Krishna will say later in the Gita that an intellect of the mode of tamas, ignorance, is one that feels like doing that which one should not do, and does not feel like doing what one should do. This is called an intellect of the mode of tamas, ignorance. Sri Krishna says that this ajnan, ignorance, false knowledge arising as a result of non-discrimination, is ajnan, ignorance. This is a demonic endowment. Sri Krishna says that these are the endowments of him who is born with a demonic nature. How do these demonic endowments come? 3 things are said. Just like earlier, we saw how divine endowments come. Demonic endowments come as a result of 3 things. The first is sinful karmas from one's previous lives. The second is when one is born with a predominance of the modes of rajas, passion, and tamas, dullness. Divine endowments come as a result of the predominance of the mode of sattva, goodness, whereas demonic endowments come as a result of the predominance of the modes of rajas, passion, and tamas, dullness. The third is one of whose future destruction is certain and non-well-being is certain. In such people's life, you see the demonic endowments. It is certain that they will fall in a hole. With such people, you see demonic endowments in their lives. Ashushu praneshu ramante ite asuraha. One who is engrossed only with the pleasures of the senses is a demon. One who remains preoccupied with satisfying the one of the senses is an asur, demon. This is the attitude of eat, drink, and be merry. One whose life is like this is an asur, demon. The majority of people are like this. Now, what are the fruits of divine and demonic endowments? God shows us this in the next verse. Verse 5. Deva sampad vimokashya nibadandaya surimata ma shushja sampadam devim abhijato se pandeva.